Hello and greetings my friends. Welcome to today's crochet tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to crochet a bag onto a zip, and from this point to this point is 14 centimeters. Depending on how big or how small you want your bag, make sure your zip aligns to the size of your bag. So what I've basically done is I've just inserted my crochet into the material that is surrounding the zip. And I'm going to start off with a smaller size hook and then graduate to a bigger size hook. This is a 3.5 millimeter crochet size hook, and what I'm using is 3 millimeters. You can use a smaller crochet size hook depending on the size of your yarn. So I'm using polyester yarn, which is good for making bags. You can use acrylic yarn, cotton yarn, t-shirt yarn, any other kind of yarn that suits your preference. So I'm going to start off by making single crochet along this edge of the zip. I'd also like to say thank you so much for subscribing to my channel, for taking your time to look at my work. I'm very grateful. I also uploaded 2 videos yesterday on showing how to crochet a bag onto a zip. Feel free to check out those videos. I use a different pattern, and today I'm also going to use a different pattern. Yesterday's video was for a crochet bag that is a bit bigger than this. It was about 20 centimeters. And this one is 14 centimeters. So basically what I'm doing is going to single crochet all around the zip. For the foundation row, I'm also going to do another row of single crochet after this. So when you buy your zip, make sure that the material that you're buying, make sure this material is able to accommodate your crochet, because there are some materials that are not easily penetratable by the crochet. Also, it is good to note that the smaller the crochet size to begin with, as you work around the zip, the easier it will be for you, as opposed to using a bigger crochet size hook. But again, that depends on the size of yarn that you're using, because if I use a smaller crochet size hook, it will not accommodate the size of my polyester yarn. So I'm going to continue working round up to here, and then I'll show you how we cross over to this side. So once you get to the end, I'm going to chain 3. So I'm going to chain 3. Once I get to the end of the row, I'm going to chain 3, and then I'll continue working the single crochets on this other side of the zip. Continue working those single crochets all round. As you work onto the material of the zip, it won't be like so easy and so smooth. You need some energy to push your crochet into the material. Not so much, just a little bit, but don't expect it to be smooth all the way. I'll continue working the single crochets all round until I get to this part. Do single crochets and then join to this side. So I've come to the end of the row once again. Chain 3. I'm chaining 3 because that is the distance that will cover, that is the measurement that will cover this length here. So if you have a wider zip, you may need to add the chains rather. And then I'm going to slip stitch here, join to this other side. And then I'm going to change. Now I'm going to graduate, and I'm going to use a slightly bigger crochet size hook. This is 3.5. So an increment of 0.5, because it suits the size of my yarn. So I've supposed to chain 1. And then I'm going to single crochet again all round before I start on my working on my pattern. So I'll pause the video and single crochet up to this end. So once you get to the end and we are at the point where we did the 3 chains, we are going to work beneath the chain 3 and then do 3 single crochets. So if you did 4 chains, do 4 chains. If you did 3 chains, then do 3 single crochets beneath that chain 3, and then continue working on the single crochets all around. Continue until you get to this point. So once you get to the end of this part, after you have done the 3 single crochets beneath the 3 chains, we are now going to make a slip stitch to join the 2 parts, and then we are going to chain 1. So now I want to start off, and I'm going to show you how to do the pattern that I intend to use on this beautiful purse. I'm actually making this purse for my daughter. She loves the rainbow colors, so I'm going to add colors as I go along this purse. Feel free to add more colors if you wish. You don't have to use a single color. So I'm going to show you the pattern that I'm going to use for this purse. So we are going to work into this. You see this part here? We are going to work into this, in the middle of this, and we're going to do a single crochet inside here. Or rather, I'm going to insert my crochet here, and then I'm going to do a single crochet. Then next, I'm going to work into the back loop only and do a single crochet. So moving forward, we'll be using single crochets. The only difference will come in when we insert our crochet. It depends. So once we have worked on through the back loop, we are now going to work into this part here. So we're basically alternating between this part of the stitch and the back loop. Once we have worked our single crochet through this part of the stitch, next is a back loop here, and then we go to this part of the stitch and back loop. That is what we'll be doing. So we are basically alternating those 2 parts. So now I'm going to insert my crochet into the bottom part of the stitch, and then single crochet, and then use the back loop, and then this bottom part of the stitch. And that is it. Just alternate those 2 parts of the stitch. So continue working the pattern for as long as you'd like, depending on the length of your bag. So I'm going to pause the video and continue working along my bag. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Hi, so I'm at this point at the edge where I want to add these metal rings so that I can be able to work a handle onto it later. So I basically just put it on the outer part of the bag, and I'm going to continue working on the pattern. So previously I worked through the back loop. Next I'll have to work through the front part of the stitch. Basically going to work like so, and then next would be the back loop. So I'm going to insert my crochet like so, and then still continue with the pattern. It's that easy. So once I'm done, I'm just going to have to work the handle on top of this ring, and I'll do the same on this other end of the bag. So I'm on the other end of the bag, and it is my pleasure to show you how I'm working over it. So basically just place it on top of where I want to stitch it onto. As I follow my pattern, the previous stitch was through the back loop. So next I'm going to work it through the lower part of the stitch right here. And then next is through the back loop, but because I want to capture the ring, I'm going to put my crochet beneath or inside the ring, and then I'm going to work through the back loop. And there we have it, the ring is secure. And then I'll continue with my pattern all round, and I'll show you once the pattern is a bit bigger. I'll show you, but you can see there's some V's that are being aligned in the same line. That is what we are looking for. So I'll show you as I work onto my crochet. As I make it a bit longer, I'm definitely going to show you how the pattern should look like. Hello there. So I've made some couple of rows, and I would like to show you the pattern. As you can see, the pattern is now a bit clearer. And this is how the inside looks like. It's quite different. So this is the kind of pattern that you should be having on your bag as you proceed on. So let's continue working those rows until we have achieved our desired row or length.